welcome back to my YouTube channel. This episode is going to be a fun one because we are going to be planning a Galentine's party. So it is the month of February, it's the month of love, and so I like to take this occasion to celebrate my friends. So this Sunday I'm going to be hosting a little party for them, and so before I start doing any kind of preparation for this party, or rather before I start setting up anything for this party, I like to do some prep work beforehand. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk you guys along my whole process for party planning, hosting, and all that. The first thing that I like to do is to create a mood board, so I have a general idea of where I'm going with this party. Typically when I start a project, any project at all, whether it's a party, whether it's a campaign for a company, whether it's a website layout, whatever, you name it, I like to make a mood board. I think it's one of the best and easiest ways to visually lay out your ideas. When it comes to art making, references are really important, and so I find it's nice if you can take some time, organize your ideas, make sure you understand where your ideas are coming from as well, and just like put a visual tag to what you're trying to achieve. With that being said, let's just jump into step number one, which is creating a mood board. And today I'm going to be using Pinterest, which I think for party planning is the ideal tool to use because everything is all on one place. You can pin things to boards, and so that's what we're going to do. I will admit I am being a little bit last minute with this project, but I think that what I'm going for is simple enough that I don't need to be doing this weeks out. But essentially, I'm going to be showing you guys a very condensed version of party planning. If I want to do a larger event, I would be starting this process way sooner. But for the sake of this video, we're going to be doing everything within the next 24 to 48 hours because the party is tomorrow and today is Saturday. Let's get to pinning up Pinterest. Okay, let's get pinning. So I start off by looking up keywords in Pinterest. I am going for Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day vibes. So those are the kinds of posts that I'm going to be pinning to my board. We're keeping it pretty simple. I'm not going to be doing anything too crazy. I really like this like pink, red, berry type of thing, but very minimalistic because I knew I wasn't going to have that much time to plan this party. So I figured I would go for something a little bit more simple. So simple florals. I really liked this white flower theme, so that's what we're going to be doing. Whites, greens, keeping it very, very minimal. I really like the look of draped tablecloths, so that was something that I wanted to incorporate in my design. I don't know, something about it is really cool, and it kind of is giving like doing the most without having to actually do the most, which I really enjoyed. And that is the overall look I'm going for. So I pinned as well a little bit of inspiration for the activity we're going to be doing as well as the food. And there you have it, a very simple visual resource for planning this party. And with that, I think I have enough to work with to get on to step number 2, which is grocery shopping, running some errands, and getting all the supplies needed in order to make this soirée happen. Okay, let's go. Okay guys, we have made it to our first destination, which is Winners and the dollar store. I live in Canada. We have what is called Dollarama, and then we also have Winners, which is I guess your equivalent to TJ Maxx, Marshalls, something like that in the United States. So that's our first stop. I'm gonna go ahead and stop at the dollar store first and see if I can find a couple cute vases, a couple little accent things for my tablescape, and then I'm gonna go into Winners and see if I can find some cute accessories as well. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna find some candles at Winners. I'm hoping to find some really nice themed candles at Winners. We'll see what we end up finding, but I like to stop at the dollar store first because the dollar store, y'all, don't sleep on the dollar store. They have so many things these days, and like granted, the dollar store is not even really the dollar store anymore. It's more like the $2 and up store at this point. But the dollar store these days, they have some stuff. They have some pretty trendy things. I don't know who's working on the design team at the dollar store, but they've been doing a good job. So I'm gonna go ahead, see if they have anything that could be good for the party. not what we came for, but how cute is this? Y'all, these candles are getting more and more creative.
Very strong nude of coffee.
Y'all, it's a stack of pancakes. Okay, I just got home from running errands and now I'm pretty much set and ready to go in terms of supplies for the party. Figured I might as well do a little haul so you guys can see what I ended up getting, because I did get a couple things that are going to be useful for this party. First up, I got some flowers. I'm so excited about these. I was so happy when I saw some tulips at the grocery store. It's officially tulip season, so I'm gonna be getting tulips all throughout the month of February, well, for however long that they have tulips out. I love tulips. They come in so many different colors, but for this particular party, we're going for white flowers only, whites and greens. So I went with white tulips. So I was very happy when I saw those. I also stopped by the florist and I ended up getting a couple additional flowers. I got some roses and I got these beautiful lilies, and she also gave me some greenery as well, which is really nice of her. Guys, I also got these gorgeous little bowls, and these are the bowls that we're going to be using to do our little craft with. So I ordered these acrylic pens that are good for ceramics on Amazon, and we're going to be using those to decorate these cute little dishes. I think that this is going to be a really fun activity for all of us to do together. Whenever you're hosting, I think it's a lovely idea to do an activity outside of just the eating and the talking. Of course, we're going to be doing a whole lot of yapping throughout this girls' party, but I think that it's going to be even more fun with an activity, and so that's why I decided that we would do some ceramic vase decorating, and I think that the girls are going to love it, because not only do you get to do something creative, but then you get to bring it home and look back at your creation. It's about these really beautiful candles. It's like a string of beads, but all stacked on top of each other. And I also got these at the dollar stores. And when I tell you, you shouldn't sleep on the dollar store, y'all, you really should not sleep on the dollar store. They actually have really interesting things, and this is one of the finds that I was like, oh, like this looks quite elegant. I also got a couple supplies for a little bit of extra decor. So I got some crayons so I could do a couple drawings and my make cards, and then I also got some paper to be able to do those as well. I also got these flat sheets from the dollar store. They were about $5, and when I saw this pink color, I was like, I need to get these. Originally, I wanted to do my tablecloth in white, this like white draped moment, but I think that this is gonna be so much more of a statement, and so we're gonna do this nice little blush dusty rose type of color on the table, and I'm going to be draping it in a fun, interesting way, and I think that that's gonna really make a statement. I got 2 of them, that way I'm able to use the second one in order to drape it on the table and create that like voluminous, flowy type of look that I'm trying to achieve. That's basically all I have in terms of materials. The rest of the things that I purchased are groceries for the actual dinner party, and so those elements you're gonna see tomorrow because we're gonna be cooking together. So I just finished filming this strawberry tiramisu recipe. I'm gonna go ahead and make a larger one for my friends tomorrow. For the video, I made it in cute little cocktail glasses, but since I only have a few of those and I have more friends coming over, I'm not gonna be making them individual portions. Okay, y'all,
I am back from church, and not gonna lie, it's a little bit chaotic around here. I have about 2 more hours. Wait, I think it's like 3 o'clock right now. My party's at 6:30, so I have about 2 hours to get this whole thing together. My friends are coming back from the grocery store soon because some of them are coming in a little bit earlier because it just worked out that way. It was easier that way. So they're gonna come down in like not too long, probably another half hour, and I should expect for them to be there, which means that I need to get myself together. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit tired. I don't know what it was about my sleep last night, but we're gonna have to make it work because I only have 2 hours. I only have 2 hours. Do you know you have 30 minutes? But 2 hours actually. And I need to pull this thing off. We're gonna get this done. I'm gonna try to talk through as much of it as I possibly can. But for now, the first thing that I need to get done is I need to do the draping on the table that I wanted to do with the sheets. I think that that's going to be what's going to take the longest. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to change because I'm coming straight from church, which means that I'm still in my church clothes. And although it's a cute look, it's not practical for the moving around that I'm going to have to do in the next 2 hours to get this done. So I'm going to change, then I'm going to get to this tablecloth. So I'm going to be using some safety pins, and I'm going to be using them to pin the fabric in place. That way I can create the draped kind of effect that I'm hoping to achieve. I wish you guys could smell the house right now. These lilies smell so fragrant. It smells beautiful in here. This is my favorite part of setting up any party. It's the flowers. I love flowers. It's not a secret. And so I'm going to be doing 3 little mini floral arrangements on the table. I'm going to be using these glasses that have a similar shape to this larger vase, which actually is not at all a vase. This used to be an old candle. I burned it all the way down and then I just cleaned it out. I thought it would make a very beautiful small vase to go on this table. Whenever I'm hosting a party where people are going to be sitting across from each other, I find it makes more sense to have smaller floral arrangements, because if they're too tall, it's gonna disrupt the flow of conversation, and I want people to be able to interact and to have a good time. So I prefer to have smaller arrangements and have like small bud vases, maybe one larger one at the center. If this were for like a wedding or something like that, I think you could get away with having a larger arrangement. But even those, I find they tend to raise the arrangements high enough it's not interrupting anyone's eyesight. So I'm gonna go ahead, arrange these flowers. I'm very happy with the tablecloth, but now it's time for the flowers. So let's get into it. I think I'm gonna start off with the largest one first, and then I'm gonna do the smaller ones afterwards. Whenever I do my flowers, I have these floral shears. You just have a thicker blade, so it allows for me to cut through larger branches. Whenever you do your flowers, you cut them on an angle. That way your flowers are able to last longer. So actually what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this for a larger floral arrangement, and I'm going to keep this in this vase. And I think what I'm going to do is roses instead. The lilies are really large and I don't know that I want to cut them down just yet. So anyways, this is like a fun exercise for me of like seeing how I want to arrange flowers. I think that like you can get really creative with how you do things. I like to have a good amount of like flowers that are going to be like the main staple, and then flowers that I consider to almost be like filler flowers. I really like this minimalist look we're going for. I should probably be doing this on a different table because I'm getting water all over my tablecloth, but it's not the end of the world. I think by the time that my guests arrive, the table will have enough time to dry, so I'm not too worried about that. But in an ideal world, you wouldn't do this on this table. That way you keep your table dry. These tulips are like They're just doing their thing, and I kind of love it. I love how wild and fun it is. Our next DIY is going to be a pretty simple one. We're going to be creating name cards, okay? I got some craft paper and I got some crayons. So we're doing the accordion fold, okay, in order to make sure that we get the spacing the same. Now we're going to grab our scissors, okay? And we're just going to cut along the center. We have come to the part of the soirée where we actually need to prep food. So that's what me and Diane are going to do. We have 2 other friends that are on the way that are also going to be helping me with the food. On the menu is nothing too crazy. We're going to be doing a crostini, going to be arugula, prosciutto, goat cheese, and I'm also doing a little hot honey to drizzle on top. And then for the main, we're going to be having a pasta with rosé sauce, sausage, a little bit of basil, and I think that's, oh no, that's not it. We're also going to be having a little salad, and as a fun drink, we're going to be having Shirley Temples, because none of my friends drink, so a little non-alcoholic beverage, and we're going to be having those in these cute little martini glasses. So it should be fun, but we need to get the prep going because we are way behind schedule. Like I said, it is now, well, it's now 5 o'clock. Oh my gosh, it's now 5 o'clock. Do you feel the pressure, Dias? Okay, we're gonna beat the clock, and we still have to get dressed because of course we gotta look cute for this party, right? So we're gonna hopefully get this all done within the next hour. 30 minutes? 30 minutes. The next 30 minutes, Diana said. And then get going, have fun, enjoy the rest of the party. The reinforcements are back. They're back. They're back. Guys, I burnt the bread. I burnt the bread. I was so excited about the girlies coming. I literally burnt the bread. And here is a sweetheart because she volunteered to like scratch the top off. But y'all know we can't be out here doing this. That's too much. To a crisp. Who's eating this? No one's eating this. So much for crostini. And with that, the vlog comes to a close. Last night was so much fun. The highlight of the evening was definitely the activity that we did, painting those cute little vessels. The girls had such a fun time doing that. Everyone was really focused, very into it, and it was a fun little keepsake that they could take home with them. I thought that that was a really big success. The other thing that was another success for the evening was the food. The girls loved the food. They could not stop talking about it. Everyone went home with takeaway boxes, which is a pro tip when you're hosting an event. Always make sure to have some takeaway containers so that your friends and family can go home with some leftovers. It's always nice. It's a nice little touch. I don't have to do this, but I find that like for something that's like a little bit less formal, even if it is formal, I think it's nice to be able to go home with some food as well. I prefer to have more food and for people to leave with the food than to just make just exactly the right amount and then no one can bring leftovers, especially if they're going to be hanging out late in the evening. The next day they don't want to worry about lunch, so this is like a nice thoughtful thing that you could do for your guests, and they definitely appreciated that as well. The last thing that I will mention that the girls really appreciated that I thought was a really nice last minute addition to the event was including those discussion questions underneath their plates. When they discovered them, they thought it was so fun and really funny, especially because the questions that I included were very lighthearted. I picked some questions surrounding the theme of Valentine's Day. So things like, what are your top 3 deal breakers? Tell me about your celebrity crush. I think it was a really nice way for us to get to know each other even more. I mean, some of us are already really familiar with each other, but I find that inserting discussion questions like that, it could be deep questions, it could be lighthearted questions, but regardless, I think it's a fun way to get to know things about people. It can get really comfortable in our friendships, so sometimes we don't really ask our friends questions that can be silly or deep or things that you don't really think about on a regular basis. I think discussion questions for events like these ones are perfect. You get to know people more, you get to find out some uncovered secrets. And that is all I have for you guys today. Hopefully this video can serve as some inspiration for your next Galentine's event or whatever event you want to put on. And I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video all the way through to the end. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me on this journey of being more vulnerable, more open, and sharing ideas on the internet. I am so grateful for every single one of you that takes the time to watch these videos. It means so much to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you enjoy this kind of content, I hope you would consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the very next video. Bye.